You had to know it was coming. An event like Saturday night's main event happens, and we have feelings. Welcome to a very special, unmissable Notsam Wrestling instant emergency reaction to Saturday night's main event, the very first Saturday night's main event of 2025, the second Saturday night's main event of this era. And of course, since it's an emergency and we have feelings and it's an instant react, Megan Morant is here. Megan, how are we feeling?
Sam, we are feeling all of the feelings on a Saturday night, just 1 week ahead of the Royal Rumble, which I cannot believe.
Unbelievable.
We only have a week until the Rumble.
I mean, let's start where we ended. Is there anybody on the planet that can make you more sad that they won than Gunther?
Ooh, that's when he's facing Jey Uso?
Look, we've seen it a million times.
Yeah.
Is he not? Because, I mean, Jey is that perfect, emblematic spirit of everything that when you're a wrestling fan, you want to see the good guy win.
Yes.
And that good guy is the guy that does the right thing, but he's also the guy that's worked the hardest to get to where he's at. He's the guy that's the most deserving. He's the guy that we've chosen as fans.
And it's funny because about a year ago, on an episode of Monday Night Raw, in the main event, Gunther, Intercontinental Champion, Jey Uso has the match for the Intercontinental Championship. And obviously, we still loved Jey Uso then. But Jey Uso, as of now, is totally different than Jey Uso as of then.
I mean, when Gunther was the Intercontinental Champion, all we wanted to see was Jey beat Gunther.
That's right.
When Jey was going in to the King of the Ring tournament, all we wanted to see was Jey beat Gunther. And we forget because we want it so bad. And then we go to San Antonio, Texas, and we go to Saturday night's main event. And Gunther is now the world heavyweight champion. And all we want to do is believe that Jey Uso, after the journey that he's been on, with some of us that have been around long enough to watch this guy show up in neon board shorts with face paint, to somehow break through and have the Usos become the most decorated tag team in terms of length of reign as any tag team really has ever been in the WWE, to go to somebody that went through what he went through in the Bloodline and at the hands of Roman Reigns, and having to leave that bloodline and having to scratch and claw and winning the tag team championship with Cody Rhodes, and somehow, some way, trying to become the single superstar that he has become, not only as a member of a beloved tag team, but he's a twin, for God's sakes.
Yeah.
It doesn't happen. To see him finally win the Intercontinental Championship only to lose it. To see him go into War Games as the guy who got more cheers than maybe anybody on that super stacked War Games team. To see premium live event after premium live event start with crowd shots of people wearing Yeet t-shirts, whether Jey Uso's on the show or not.
The entrance alone for War Games tells you everything you need to know.
Right.
We saw Jimmy Uso, Jay's twin, enter.
Are you talking about Big Jim?
Big Jim. I'm talking about Big Jim. We saw Big Jim enter with Roman Reigns. We saw Big Jim. Jey got his own entrance.
Of course Jey got his, and it was last. But I go back to my original question. It only makes the pain worse. Is there anybody who makes you feel that pain worse? If anybody had beaten Jey Uso to retain the World Heavyweight Championship tonight, would it have felt as bad as it felt when Gunther got, and all he needed was one move. He got the one move that he needed, that power bomb that folded Jey Uso over. 1, 2, that's the end of your dreams. Of course, I'm still the champion. Is there anybody that makes you feel worse than Gunther? I say no. He's the best at making you feel bad.
He's the best at domination as well.
Of course he is. Of course he is. And to go back to like the point of that, what you just said, that's all you need to know, right?
Mm-hmm.
It tells the whole story. It's one thing to, in your head, theoretically, want, Jey Uso to be a world champion.
Yeah, and I want that. I think everybody wearing a Yeet t-shirt, everybody who is standing up, yeeting in the crowd, everybody wants that.
But and by the way, I'm only checking my text because somebody just texted me that they were waiting for the emergency pod. I was worried that Kevin Owens had pile-driven somebody the last time Saturday Night's Main Event happened, and we'll get there. But I think the difference comes when you can feel it. Like anything in life. It's one thing to want something hypothetically.
Mm-hmm.
But what does it feel like when that thing is a reality? And a near fall is a near fall. Jey Uso hit the spear, got a near fall. Okay. When he hit the Uso splash, you saw me.
Yeah.
I'm usually cool as a cucumber. Maybe not as a cucumber, but when he hit that Uso splash and Gunther kicked out at, 2 7/8.
Yes.
I was like, oh my God, it's happening. It's not. And I could feel it. You could hear the crowd. You could hear San Antonio, and San Antonio, I think, was representative of most of the people watching Saturday Night's Main Event. That in that moment, it was, oh my God, I think we're going to get this. And whether I knew it or not, this is exactly what I want.
Yeah, and I think it is, moments like that where we realize what we truly feel and what we truly want in wrestling. Like heading into the match, I thought, oh, Gunther's going to retain. I would love to see Jey. That's nice, but it's not time yet for Jey. When those 7/8 of a second were so close to running out, I said, oh, I want it.
Yeah,
I do want it. I want it right now. And that gives us a little taste of, can we get there? Can we see Jey Uso as World Heavyweight Champion?
That's what I was going to ask you. With all the close calls that we've gotten with Jey, and he's won some big matches and he's lost some big matches, is there still enough gas in the tank that we're going to have that desire, that we still want Jey? Can you still, after he lost the big one again, do we still believe in Jey Uso?
Yes. And I learned that tonight at Saturday Night's Main Event.
Isn't it funny that that...
Well, you see it on paper, right? You see it on the card. It's Gunther and Jey Uso. And you go, oh.
It's Gunther's match.
It's Gunther's match. And then where does Jey go from here? Well, now Isn't
that funny? You're already counting. You're going okay.
Okay.
He's going to lose to Gunther, and then where's he going to go next? Now
that's what we all do, right?
Yeah, 100%. Here's what's crazy. We've all been sitting here going this person's going to win the Royal Rumble. Cena's going to win the Royal Rumble. Punk's going to win the Royal Rumble. So-and-so, Rey Mysterio's going to win the Royal Rumble. Kevin Owens going to win the title. Sami Zayn's going to win the Royal Rumble. All of a sudden, listen, we now believe, if we didn't before, many people did before, but now we need it. We need to see Jey Uso as World Heavyweight Champion. That the waters were tested.
Yes.
And we're ready for it. How does Jey Uso get a rematch for the World Heavyweight title? He's got to win the Royal Rumble.
Yes.
He's got to. He's got to win the Rumble, baby. I don't even think he's declared yet. If he's not, I hope he declares real soon. I hope Jey Uso wins the Royal Rumble. And maybe I'm just feelings, okay?
Yes, they are feelings.
This isn't an analyzed perspective. This is not a well thought through stance that I'm taking. But in this moment, coming right off of Saturday Night's Main Event,
who better to win the Rumble than Jey Uso?
Talking about feelings, and what would give us more feelings
than all of Indianapolis eating?
And they would. And McAfee would lead them. Those are his people.
Yeah.
And he yeets
Cole
more than anyone.
There. Yeah.
Cole, somebody's got to check on him after that last yeeting fit that he went through about a week ago. Yeah, I think.
He's nice. He's giving the people what they want.
Do they?
Yeah.
Is that what they want? I think, and the fact that Jey Uso remains cool, even though Michael Cole is eating, tells you how cool Jey Uso is. It's an amazing accomplishment.
It is. It really is.
I say that with all due respect. So
I can't wait for the Royal Rumble entrance for Jey Uso. Is it going to happen through the stands?
I don't know. I guess it depends on what number he gets. If he's even in the match. But I think that's a real interesting thing that you just said, which is losing this match for the World Heavyweight title proved to you that you wanted Jey Uso to win a match for the World Heavyweight title.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of the takeaway, right?
And I think, if you would have said to me, do you want to see Jey Uso as World Heavyweight Champion? Like, just simple, don't think about it. Don't fantasy book. Don't think of how we get there. The answer is yes. Yeah. I would love to see him as World Heavyweight Champion. But then when I really get into the nitty gritty and I go, well, how is he going to overcome Gunther? He has him tonight at Saturday night's main event. And then we go to the Royal Rumble. And then what happens? I don't know. I don't know how we get there. Maybe it's not time because I don't see Gunther's reign ending just yet.
Or ever.
Correct.
Right.
And then we get to the 1, 2. Oh, I need it right. Oh,
that's the thing I wanted.
And that's where you find out what you're really feeling. And you could tell San Antonio was feeling the exact same way.
Yeah, absolutely. We had a lot of legends in San Antonio. We'll talk about Shawn Michaels in a minute.
Yeah.
But of course, Shawn Michaels, the legend of all legends, was there in a very prominent role. We had the Brainbusters, Arn Anderson and Tully Blanchard, the Horsemen. You had Hacksaw Jim Duggan. Dory Funk Jr. was
Your
a surprise.
Guy, Mark Henry.
Oh, the world's strongest. Mark Henry, a Hall of Famer in multiple sports.
Yes.
I thought that the Dory Funk Jr. inclusion was like a nice acknowledgement of Texas. Like I said, Hacksaw Jim Duggan, $1 Million Man Ted DiBiase.
So good.
With the tux on
So
and everything. I feel like I'm missing
Medusa?
somebody there. Medusa. How could I forget about Deuce?
Yes.
Medusa was there. And who would have thought, by the way, this is why these things are so great, that at one time, and you may not know this, but Medusa, Alundra Blaze, showing up on Nitro, holding the women's championship on television, throwing it in the garbage can on the competitor's show while they were going head-to-head with Monday Night Raw, and saying, this is exactly what I think of the WWF Women's Championship. That was like, hey, congratulations, enjoy your time in WCW. You are blacklisted. Like, you've done, that is not something that we do.
We'll not talk about you.
Right,
again.
We're done with you.
Yes.
Now, not only is she in the audience with that exact championship, by the way, because she held on to it on Saturday night's main event, but they're playing the clip.
Right?
To introduce her. I think that's why I love wrestling.
It's great.
Everything comes full circle.
You know what? If you just let them cook.
Right.
Typically works out, right?
And we let Chef Shawn cook tonight.
Oh.
Chef Shawn stepped out of his Orlando kitchen and walked back home into San Antonio, Texas.
You know what I love about Shawn Michaels?
Hit me. This could, by the way, this could take a while because it's probably a lot.
Well, it's just, I wasn't watching in the era when Shawn Michaels is the Heartbreak Kid. So Shawn Michaels is first introduced to me as running the show at NXT.
So like Chef Shawn is the first Shawn you got to know.
Exactly.
That's amazing.
As soon as the music hits and we hear the, oh, it's just his walk gets swaggier. And I think we all in our heads turn back the clock and Shawn just is cool radar. I mean, it skyrockets.
That song, it may be the cheesiest song that's ever been published.
Everyone loves it.
Not only does everybody love it, it's somehow timeless.
Yes.
Like it should be with anybody else the most dated song you could ever have. But with that song being sung about him and then him showing up, you're right. It becomes, it's timeless.
Yes.
And regardless of if he's got chaps and long dangly earrings and a mullet, or he's coming out in a suit with a cowboy hat on, you're like, that's heartbreak right there.
There he is.
That's the greatest.
He's the coolest.
Yeah, and everything that's in that song about making the girls go wild.
They're all going wild.
I believe every word.
They're going wild right now.
I know that he's just a sexy boy, but not your boy toy. And I believe it. And he comes out and he's strutting out and everything. And I've got to say, too, and I said this as I was watching, the minute he started talking into a microphone, I'm like, dude, Shawn is so good. Like when he's just there and Cody's in there and Kevin's in there and Kevin Owens walks down the ring with the Cody Sucks Eggs t-shirt, which is an homage to Terry Funk. When Terry Funk was in a rivalry with Dusty Rhodes, he had a classic t-shirt. And this was like back in the day where you actually would make those T-shirts with like the iron-on letters and stuff.
Yeah.
But it said Dusty sucks eggs. So now Kevin's got his Cody
Kevin
sucks
with
eggs.
the T-shirts.
His T-shirt game has been
fantastic.
impeccable.
On SmackDown, he's wearing Naomi's shirt against Big Jim. I mean, the T-shirts always tell more to the add more to the story.
For Kevin, the battle begins in the wardrobe closet. You know, for him, the psychological battle begins in his T-shirt drawer.
Yep, he's already trolling.
He is already trolling. So Cody sucks eggs comes out, and but Shawn, when he's just standing there in between Cody and Kevin, and it's just like
your Shawn Michaels is pretty good. It's really good. You practice that
all the time.
I mean, you have
Who doesn't
to.
want to talk?
That was good.
Like the Heartbreak Kid.
That was really good.
Because it's just like, I don't know, man. I guess I'm just such a Shawn Michaels fan, but again, like. He's talking into that mic, and he's not doing it as the like, well, you know, like the NXT
not doing
commissioner.
it like NXT.
He's not the guy who's in charge. He stepped out in front of his people in a ring to be the Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels, and that's exactly who he sounds like. You know,
yes.
You're gonna be dancing all over your face. He's the best, dude. And so it was tense, right? Because Kevin is staring at Cody, and Cody is staring at Kevin, and I loved Cody for this. When Kevin starts going on his rant about, well, you know, when the going got tough for me, I stayed, but when the going got tough for you, you quit. And Cody, just like your dad, just when your dad has had enough and the games are over, goes, enough. And I'm like, whoa, Dad, all right.
Okay.
I thought we were still messing around. I didn't know he was going to get that mad. I go, sorry.
I'm not here to talk about the past.
Yeah, I had big PTSD. I was like, I'll do the homework. All right.
Jeez.
All right. I'll stop playing ball in the house. I won't invite him over. I'm not here to talk about the past. I'm not here to listen to you justify what you did. And then he goes in, and then he said it. I mean, it was like, Jay-Z has this line where he's like, I'm not looking at you. I'm looking past you.
Mm-hmm.
And that was Cody's moment to be like, Kevin, like, I'm going to beat your ass at the Rumble, and I'm not even thinking about it. I'm concentrating on who's going to win the Rumble because I'm going to WrestleMania with the title. And there was no humility. There was no politeness. There was no, may the best man win. He was like, Kevin Owens, I'm going to beat that ass. And then I'm going to find whoever wins the Rumble. I'm going to beat that ass too. And I was like, yeah, Cody, tell him.
And this is what's been so great about the rivalry between Kevin Owens and Cody Rhodes is because we no longer have Mr. Respectful Cody Rhodes.
No.
We have Cody Rhodes who is fired up, angry, focused on business, and as confident as he's ever been. Not that he ever lacked confidence.
No, but he's displaying that confidence,
Yes.
that well-placed confidence. Like it's in the way he's carrying himself now. Where it was almost like before, bro, you don't have to be that humble.
Yeah.
You're the American nightmare.
You're the
I know what
quarterback.
you did. You're the quarterback, and you're the quarterback because you proved everybody wrong to get in that position. And now it's like a full ownership of it. Like, don't turn me into this guy. I know who I am. I made myself so easy to love.
But
Why
then-
are you turning me into this monster?
Kevin, I do have to say, came back with a couple of good points.
Hit me.
When Cody had said, he said, Cody, you said some things that really ticked me off last night.
Ooh.
He didn't say ticked off. He
Well,
said
sure.
but,
We're keeping it.
I'm going to say ticked off. He said, you said, I always take the easy way out. I could have targeted your knee.
Oh, well, I mean, he brought it back to back when he was friends with Cody.
I didn't target your knee. I knew your knee was hurt.
But he did. See, I love that he brought that up because he's factual Kevin Owens. I watched the show. He watches the product Kevin Owens. But I also loved that he slipped and Shawn got him. I loved it because I felt like you finally saw him slip. He's so logical and his precision is so good, Kevin Owens.
Because he's going on in this. I'm like, you're right. He didn't target.
Right.
He could have.
Right. But I felt like he slipped and he let his true self show when he said that you get all the adulation and the opportunity and the championship. I should be getting those. And I go, there he is.
Yeah.
There he is. That's
and
what
Shawn
it was.
goes, you sound jealous.
Yeah. Who's jellyfish?
Heartbreak Kid stirring the pot.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah. And then it was funny. Like So I love that Kevin Owens showed himself in that moment because that's what I felt like it was. It goes like, you can be as logical as you want, but that's what makes you the villain in this scenario. That's the truth. And Shawn pointing it out and Kevin Owens not only snapping back, but snapping back hard. I mean, Shawn Michaels did not show up to San Antonio to have somebody bringing up, I lost my smile. No. That's not Shawn's finest moment.
This version of Kevin is willing to go there.
And here's the thing. Kevin Owens has been watching the product for a long time. Kevin Owens was like me. He was at home. I remember exactly where I was. I mean, as a kid, I remember watching Shawn say he lost his smile. And even as a kid going, the hell does that mean? Why are you giving up your title? You lost your what? Kevin knows where he was too. He remembers everything. Steel trap up there. But I go, there's a lot of tension here. I'm loving all this tension between Shawn and Kevin Owens. And you had to know it was a risk. As soon as Shawn gets announced, I mean, we saw Kevin try to package pile drive Rey Mysterio a week ago, I guess.
Yep.
At the end of that thing, when he shoves Cody out of the way and he's got Shawn Michaels ready in prone position for a package pile driver, I go, not the Heartbreak Kid.
Oh, and it was funny because I texted you earlier today and I said, do you think Kevin Owens is going to pile drive HBK?
I go, no, I didn't even want to hear it.
And as soon as I'm like, oh my God, I predicted this and I didn't want to predict this. I don't want to be right.
You did this.
I didn't manifest this.
Yeah, you manifested it. And then Cody breaks it up and now you've awakened a sleeping giant in the Heartbreak Kid, and he starts tuning up the band.
Oh, we love when he tunes up the band.
Oh my God, this is what Kendrick Lamar was talking about. Sweet chin music. And then boom, for the San Antonio crowd one more time, Kevin Owens eats sweet chin music, exits the ring. The championships were the actual championship and the Winged Eagle, which I think is the same one that I have right up there on the wall. And I think it kind of means, Kevin Owens and I are both kind of equally WWE champion at this point. We both have Winged Eagles.
I guess you could make that argument.
Neither one of us were beat anybody specifically. So, but don't let Kevin Owens know.
Just get one and claim you're the champion.
That's right. But yeah, they're both now have been given up. So that means next week on SmackDown, they're not going to have their titles with them.
Yeah, I thought we were there was a stipulation to this contract. I thought that was being floated around. Did we find out what the stipulation is, or is this just?
I thought the one additional thing was maybe giving up the titles early.
Okay.
That's the only, because I thought so too, but I was like, oh, okay, I guess that's what makes this different, that usually the titles aren't given in a week early. I love that. Looking forward to the ladder match. I think it's going to be great. Both guys are kind of in a must-win situation.
Yeah, no doubt.
Which is awesome. And then there's a little part of me that goes, 3 years ago, Kevin Owens brought Stone Cold Steve Austin out of retirement. I'm just saying, if he can't beat Cody, maybe we invite the Heartbreak Kid to the Kevin Owens show. Ooh. I would love to see it. That's all I'm saying. I would just love to see it.
It'd be great.
It'd be great. That's all I mean.
See, that almost packaged pile driver got you hungry.
Oh, got me so fired up.
Tuning up the band. You were like, oh, let's do it. Let's run it back.
But I think I know why I'm really fired up. Okay. This is a big day on the show because we're actually, this is the last time, I think, on Notsam Wrestling that we're going to hear this.
I love you solo.
I'm done with it. I got a new one. You're going to be amazed at how quick I got a new one.
Okay, you got a new
5, 2.
Oh, wow. That quick.
Wow. The Notsam production crew is hustling.
And don't let Hot Dog take credit for it.
2.
I love it. I love it.
Hell, I'll call myself Fatu. Hell, I'm going to yell my own name. Hell, I'm going to go out there and beat Joe. I mean, I was like, yeah, let's run through walls together, Jacob Fatu.
Let's yell more.
Let's destroy everybody. Jacob Fatu's my favorite wrestler.
Is Dominic Mysterio listening?
I don't know. Don't tell him.
Shoot.
Because
5, 2.
I mean, how you not charged up this guy?
Tonight was the coming out party for Jacob Fatu.
And it was you knew it was going to be.
Yeah.
You knew it was going to be because things have changed so much
So quickly.
So quickly since Netflix Raw owned it.
Yes.
Since Solo Sikoa went down to Roman Reigns, and Roman Reigns was declared unequivocal tribal chief.
He's the only tribal chief.
The final boss put that necklace around the Ulafala around his neck, and that's it. We've gotten no explanation from Solo Sikoa, but Jacob Fatu has decided not to allow that to slow him down even an inch. There is no part of Jacob Fatu that at this point, it seems, is waiting for an explanation.
Yeah, I was looking forward to this match for a lot of reasons. I think Jacob Fatu last night on SmackDown just gave us a little taste, and every week on SmackDown has given us more and more to chew on.
Yeah.
And now we're going to have this match against
Hell!
Braun Strowman, just a specimen of a human being. And I remember when there were rumblings of Jacob Fatu is going to be coming to WWE. And these Tongans started to show up. And I would be watching the product with you and would immediately say, "Is that Jacob Fatu?"
No, that's a Tongan.
No, that's a Tongan. That's not Jacob Fatu. Is that Jacob Fatu? No, that's a Tongan.
I go, that's Tama Tonga. He's awesome. No, that's Tongalo. He's awesome.
And you told me you will know
Yeah.
when you see Jacob Fatu.
It's a Samoan
I
werewolf.
was like, am I going to know? You know when you see Jacob Fatu. And he's proven that each and every time that he's on the screen. But he's always proven that for Solo Sikoa. Tonight was really the first time we got to see Jacob Fatu doing this for Jacob Fatu.
Not in a support role.
No.
Right. Then that's what made it the coming out party. You're 100% right. And it was, to me, I mean, the promo was amazing, obviously. But I was a big fan. But I'm going to say the word hell like mid-sentence all the time now. I mean, it's going to change the way I speak forever. But it was the entrance for me.
Yeah.
When you saw him coming out with the music and everything, and he's walking out, and the crowd is like on top of him because that aisleway was so slim, but there's still this kind of aura of intimidation surrounding him. It's the guy who, I've talked about it before with different people on the podcast who, even in WWE, there's just something about it where it's like, no, that guy's the real deal.
Yeah.
No, that guy's for real. And to me, this whole story of this match, everything we saw in this match was really remarkable because it was a months-long payoff. Months ago, Paul Heyman said, we knew about Jacob. There was a reason we didn't invite him. You can't have him here. He's
been to jail
unpredictable.
3 times before he was 18.
And Michael Cole said it on commentary.
Yeah.
We're not hiding from this fact. This is who this guy is. But, it's one thing. Like, in wrestling, this stuff happens all the time. We heighten these people as they're debuting to kind of grab people's attention, right?
We have a lot of feelings.
Yes, but Paul Heyman also says nothing's done by mistake. Nothing is done without the vision of what is to be done in the future with it. And it's like, why was such a big deal of Jacob Fatu being this menace, this danger, this animal, this savage? Why was it made so clear? And the answer is now. It wasn't about then, because then, like you said, it was part of the bloodline. It was the personality of this group. Now it's like, no. All that stuff that I was saying then is because I was warning you about today. Mm-hmm. Today, the day that Jacob Fatu is completely unleashed. And what do you get? You get, not only you get this spectacular entrance, you get this match that, at the beginning was back and forth. But once it becomes Jacob's show,
we came back from commercial break.
And it's Jacob's show.
That's it.
And it's Jacob's show. And the referee, old Dan Engler, has to stop Jacob from caving in Braun Strowman's skull. Which, as Michael Cole said, the whole reason Jacob is wrestling is because the stuff that would have put him in jail anywhere else, he gets paid to do here. This is what he wants to do. And the referee is trying to stop him from what brings him joy. So what does he do? Well, he assaults the official. Throws him out of the ring. Now it's a disqualification.
Doesn't care.
Couldn't care less.
Nope.
Couldn't care less. I would like to cave in Braun Strowman's skull until he appears to be bleeding from his eyeballs. And so that's what he did. But what was so amazing, right, is not only is he just unleashing this attack, security comes out, officials come out, Nick Aldis comes out.
Yep.
Tama Tonga comes out to be like, bro, bro,
Okay.
yeah. No.
No. Cole's calling for him to be tased.
Tase him. Do something. Yeah. Send in the National Guard.
Yeah.
I'm Godzilla and King Kong.
Yeah.
Hell. Yeah. But what makes it awesome is that Jacob Fatu does this amazing moonsault where he just like in 1 second hops up, boom, boom, boom. He's on the top rope and he's just moonsaulting. There's no hesitation, no checking behind him. You know, people will check behind them, make sure they're positioned. Here we go and do the moonsault. Never for this Jacob Fatu.
It is such a fluid movement. Boom. And my favorite part was when he's done hitting the moonsault.
Yeah.
And he grabs the ropes.
Yeah.
And the way he looked at the camera.
Yeah.
I go, that's my guy.
My favorite part is that he does this moonsault. And usually when you have these big sort of, oh, they're beating up the wrestler, here comes the security. The security is well out of the way. And then the wrestler does the move to the other wrestler, even though they're not supposed to. Jacob Fatu was doing these moonsaults in such a way where I'm moonsaulting right now. And if you are in the way of my body, it's going to collide with you. He wasn't checking. He wasn't waiting. This is real life. Like you're just sitting there, and I've watched wrestling for decades. You're just sitting there going, that body is leaving the ring or is going to jump in the sky and backflip. It's landing. So either get out of the way or you're getting moonsaulted on. And that's exactly the way it should be. We shouldn't be able to go like, oh, I know they're telling us that he's dangerous, but he's waiting until everyone's out of the way before he moonsaults. He's not.
No, don't
He's
wait.
really
moonsault.
not. And then he's leaving, and then he's, I'm not done. I'm going to go back and do a couple more moonsaults. It was amazing. Laying out Braun Strowman. 2 questions to ask, I think. 2 topics that I want to hit on this. Number 1. Is anyone going to boo Jacob Fatu?
No.
I mean, I hope so.
I mean,
He's a bad guy.
they were chanting one more time.
Yeah.
One more time. They wanted another moonsault.
And then they were chanting this.
Fatu!
Fatu, Fatu. They loved the guy. Can you imagine being Braun Strowman and there's blood pouring out of every orifice? And it's like,
And people are like, more.
stop chanting
more,
that guy's name.
More.
He's doing terrible things to me. But there's just something about this guy.
I know. Today, right now, just being so captivated by the coming out party of Jacob Fatu,
Yeah.
it's really hard for me to say, oh, they're going to boo him. Because in my feelings at this moment.
Because I want to know, here's the answer. Here's how you figure out if they're going to boo him. Are you going to boo him?
No, not now. Not feeling the way I do now.
And that's what I'm asking. That's what it's all about.
Yes. Feeling the way I do now, no.
So when I say Jacob Fatu, you say yay or you say boo?
I say yay.
All right, well, that answers that. Second
What do
question.
you say?
He's my favorite wrestler. What am I going to say?
You're going to say yeah.
And I'm sorry. He's going to do a lot of damage to a lot of people. I think he's going to give us
The
a
massacre's only beginning.
Here's the thing. I think he's going to give us a reason to boo him,
Yeah.
and that's dangerous. Here's the other question. See what that guy was wearing to the ring? What was up with this red necklace that he had on? It wasn't an ulafala, but it was a lei.
Yeah,
It was a
some form
red,
of-
some kind of ceremonial red lei.
It was.
Is this guy asserting himself?
I don't know.
Is
I mean,
this guy
you're
saying-
basically part of the bloodline.
I am like bloodline at least adjacent,
Yeah,
I think.
I think so.
Yeah. And I go, that feels like it's a rank. I don't know what rank it is,
Yeah.
but it felt like it was a rank. And it also felt like, even if it wasn't a rank, it's like, hey, tribal chief, I know you just won your ulafala, but I'm wearing this. Stop me.
Yeah.
You
Is
know?
anybody going to stop him after what they saw tonight? I don't think so.
Who's the tribal chief?
I do have a question for you. You tweeted out Jacob Fatu was WWE's version of A Star Is Born.
Yes, I did tweet that out. Yes, I did. I was
love
watching.
that.
I was going, this is if the WWE were to go like, we're going to do a remake, not shot for shot, but a remake.
Part 3, because we did see the remake a couple years ago.
Right.
Lady Gaga.
Another remake of the film A Star Is Born. This is exactly what it would have looked like.
Okay.
Yeah.
So explain
With Jacob Fatu as Lady Gaga.
Okay.
Jacob Fatu.
Then who is Bradley Cooper?
Who is Bradley Cooper? Jacob. Well, yeah, Solo Sikoa. Solo Sikoa. Because, of course it's Solo Sikoa because that's the whole thing. In A Star Is Born.
There's a love interest. We have the clip to prove it.
In A Star Is Born, Bradley Cooper discovers Lady Gaga, brings her out on stage with him, goes, yeah, we'll be a group here. We'll be a group. Slowly but surely, Lady Gaga's power rises and rises. Mm-hmm. Bradley Cooper finds himself in a spot where he's not the tribal chief of music anymore.
He's struggling.
And Lady Gaga becomes the star. Right now, Solo Sikoa is in that spot where he's like, oh no, I've lost my positioning, the positioning that I was in when I brought Jacob Fatu, Lady Gaga in this case, in. Now what am I going to do?
We need to remake the music video.
You saying you want to see Shallow with Jacob Fatu and Solo
Can
Sikoa?
we edit that?
Yeah, I think so.
Get Hot Dog on that.
He's got it. He's probably already working on it. Yeah, I think so. We might have to animate it. I'm just saying, when you've got Jacob Fatu with a performance like he had against Braun Strowman, wearing what he was wearing, at some point, the tribal chief Roman Reigns is going to have something to say. And
we've had a couple of moments where we've seen those two.
Listen, I mean,
staring down.
There's been a long history in professional wrestling of the good guy having to overcome a monster. When The Undertaker first came in, a year into his WWE tenure, he became the biggest challenge that Hulkamania could face. It was the same thing going back to WrestleMania 3. Mm-hmm. Hulkamania is running wild, but can it defeat Andre the Giant? And this is something tried and true. Shawn Michaels is the WWE champion, but can he overcome Psycho Sid? And you can go, on John Cena. I mean, even closer. Can John Cena, the man, can he overcome Umaga? Can Roman Reigns overcome Jacob Fatu? Maybe I'm putting the cart before the horse. I'm just saying. It's going to be great. Looking at that show, I thought Jesse Ventura was great.
So good.
I mean, he's just like, I don't know how it happened, but maybe wrestling just never left him.
I don't think it has.
Because he's just like sharp with it, fun. Like he's in the Okerlund.
Everything that we're all thinking too. I mean,
but he does it with that accent.
I know.
Yeah. He's in the Okerlund position with Tess, and then he's doing commentary on the Intercontinental Championship match. Braun Breaker versus Sheamus. Great match.
Fantastic match.
I don't think Sheamus is capable at this point in his career of having anything but a fantastic match. But at the end of the day, much like it's Gunther's time, it's Braun Breaker's time.
I did think for a second, I liked that Jesse was ripping
the referee
because there was a moment where I truly thought Sheamus won because we did get that third count.
Well, foot was on the rope, bro.
I know, but I was kind of like, faked me out a little there for a second.
Well, Jesse wasn't happy.
No, he wasn't. And I was with him. I
know
like,
you were.
You can't pay attention.
And he's also a very convincing guy. I also love that he called out Governor Abbott at the beginning of the show. Like, I was like, let's get controversial, Jesse. I love you're wearing a Plato's Retreat spin-off t-shirt. Look at you.
It was good.
Public Enemy on his head.
You can tell he loves doing this too.
Yeah. Like, and I'm happy for that. That, like, I feel like for a long time, Jesse had a negative outlook on wrestling. Mm-hmm. And I feel like he's kind of found the love for it again.
Yeah, and I love how he kept bringing up things like he brought up Sheamus and when Sheamus won his first battle royal and how he was on the call for that.
Yeah.
I love that.
Which just happened to be like an old school episode of Raw or something like that. But it's like, yeah, there's your connective tissue. And of course brought up Honky Tonk as well.
Yes.
Honky Tonk, man. Yeah, I gotta say, I think, Braun Breaker is on a roll right now. I don't see him losing the Intercontinental Championship anytime soon. I thought it was a big, decisive victory over Sheamus. I feel like the conversation of, whether now is the right time for Sheamus to finally win the Intercontinental Championship or not is kind of done.
Yeah.
as long as Braun Breaker's got the title, and it'll be interesting for me to see. I mean, this match more than any other is what's next for Braun Breaker. You know,
I agree with that. The spear is electric.
Electric. I thought I did know that. I mean, shout out a lot of people. First few minutes of the show got a Spanish language lesson.
Yes,
which I think people were very, very helpful for. Like I said, I love seeing the Slim Aisle, as you and I have discussed. Very happy with the ceiling microphone.
Oh, you love the ceiling microphone.
When I told you I don't love the circle mic flags.
You don't love the raw mic flags. I do. I think they're very clean. Every week I see them, and I love the look.
You said, what kind of mics do you like? I said, I like the ceiling microphone.
You like the ceiling mic, and you like your microphone to have a cord to it.
I love a cord.
Well. If they're not coming from the ceiling, you like the mic.
Well, there are cords going up to the ceiling.
Cord. Okay, you're a big old school guy.
Yeah. I'm an analog guy.
Yeah.
In a digital world.
Yeah, I mean, I did like not only how they came down, but then the box that was on it. The decoration,
whatever it was. Yeah.
The presentation of the mic was great.
Yep. Entrance looked good again. Referees and the bow ties and everything. Loved all of it. And of course, the opener was the women's championship match. Rhea Ripley versus Nia Jax. Rhea Ripley coming out in the red and black, looking like $1 million.
I know, the orange makeup was great too.
Awesome.
A nice little touch. Her gear was on another level.
It was on another level.
Yeah.
And I think that as much as we talk about this being a coming out party for Jacob Fatu, I think it was a reintroduction for Rhea Ripley.
I agree with that. This was really the first time we've seen Rhea have a match with someone not in the Judgment Day.
Yeah, not part of that. Because think about it. It's
Since
like
WrestleMania?
That's right. Rhea has her breakout performance at WrestleMania, retaining the championship against Becky Lynch.
Yes.
Then she gets injured, and twice, and from the night after WrestleMania on, it's the Liv Rhea story.
Yeah, we're in the Judgment Day story.
And I think it's beautiful that story was able to last as long as it did and be compelling. But I also love that it's like that story has been declared like, yes, Rhea has won that story. She is the women's world champion again. She's got a legit challenger here. Nia Jax is a former WWE women's champion. No sort of chicanery about it.
No.
Rhea Ripley wins and goes forward as, okay, it's time for me to do what I intended to do after WrestleMania.
Which is so exciting for all of us.
It's so exciting because we're on the road to WrestleMania.
Exactly.
Right? And so now it's like, just as Rhea is kind of launching this reminder era, we're a week away from somebody winning the Women's Royal Rumble and potentially choosing Rhea Ripley to be a WrestleMania opponent.
Which is great.
It's great.
I mean, you never know. Royal Rumble season, we get returns, we get surprise appearances. You never know who could show up.
I mean, could it be a third Charlotte Rhea Ripley match at WrestleMania? Charlotte's in the Rumble.
The other two, so
yeah, exactly. Yeah, so I thought it was really cool. Also, very interesting that as of tonight, Rhea Ripley for the first time exists on a roster without Damian Priest.
I know. I saw the post she put on X.
Yeah.
And it was, it kind of it really put it all together for me, right? It was her and Priest and how they started and really what they built together.
Yeah.
On Raw.
Yeah.
It was one of those things that you look back and you go, did we appreciate that enough?
Well, yeah,
and I think we did, but it's the end of an era, without a doubt.
End of an era for sure, but I think they both raised each other's stock
without question
quite a bit, and both now go into the future way better for it.
Yeah.
So there we have it. I mean, another great Saturday night's main event in the books. I love that these are back. I love that we get just on a Saturday night 2 hours of great pro wrestling on NBC.
Big week.
Then we got Royal Rumble coming up.
Yeah.
We're going to have feelings after that.
Of course we are.
I think we're going to have to meet back up here.
A planned emergency.
About a week from now. I'm going to guess there's going to be another emergency.
I hope so.
All right. Well, we'll see you then. Of course, there'll be another Not Sam Wrestling podcast on Monday. On the Thursday before the Royal Rumble, Not Sam Wrestling live in Indianapolis, Indiana at the Helium Comedy Club. You can get tickets at notsam.com. Lyra Valkyria announced as the guest.
Ooh.
Yes.
History maker.
Lyra Valkyria, first Intercontinental Champion on the women's side of things. Now also for the first time on Notsam Wrestling. And it's happening live in front of everybody. Get your tickets. It's going to be fantastic.
Oh, Lyra's great.
She's the best. She's the best. I'm really looking forward to it. I appreciate you for making the time again, Megan.
It was a blast. Thank
Always.
you.
Yes. We'll see you again real soon. Thanks, everybody.